How much improvement have you seen from Will Rogers just as a deep passer in general, and how much do you think he's kind of dispelling the narrative of air raid quarterbacks and kind of that dink and dunk label that they have on them?
The dink and dunk label, I just think that every time I hear that, I just, that says more about the person that refers to it as that than it does the air raid, really. I mean, well, the whole NFL doesn't seem to think it's dink and dunk. I mean, that's why they're all running air raid concepts, right? But as far as the deep stuff, I mean, that's kind of a two-way street. Number one is the receivers and their technique as far as running the route. Number two is the quarterback's ability to throw it. Number three is then there's this kind of a bridge you have to cross as far as the whole field of dreams thing. They say, if you build it, they'll come. Well, if you run it, he'll throw it. If he throws it, you'll catch it. I mean, that's it. There's a point to where you got to kind of force it a little bit because until they run good vertical routes and make good vertical route catches, quarterback doesn't trust him to throw it. But until he throws it, they're not going to make those catches. And so we kind of have been going through those growing pains, continue to, we're making progress. I do think Will's gotten bigger and stronger over the years, but a fade route, a well-timed fade route is completed usually somewhere between 30 and 35 yards, and pretty much everybody can throw. I mean, I can throw that ball that far right now if you'd like me to, and so it's not like you really need a big cannon for an arm or anything. Just a little practice and a little touch and put it up there, and good technique on the receiver's end.
Steve?
Coach, in 2020 in year one, your team averaged just over 21 points a game. Currently, you're averaging right around 38 points a game. Your quarterback says there's a lot more left in the tank. What do you see? How much more is left in the tank for this offense?
Well, I think quite a bit because you're talking about, every position on the team, getting a little bit more, and you're constantly trying to pull slack out of the rope type of thing. And, if each position gets a little better, then the team gets a lot better. So, and I do think we got quite a ways to go. I mean, I think, we're finishing runs better than we did last year, but we could certainly do better. We're blocking the second level better than we did last year, but we can certainly do better. We were playing faster than we did last year, but we can certainly play faster. And then, defensively, we do a lot of good things, and we are kind of explosive and powerful on defense, but, there's some of the big plays we could definitely shut down too.
John?
Mike, 2 years ago in Lexington, that's when Will made his debut with this team. I mean, just when thinking of those 2 years from then to now, how much have you seen him grow, and did you think that he could become, the quarterback that he is now at that point?
I actually did. I mean, I knew he needed quite a bit of time and reps and work, but then also with that said, I felt like the people around him were going to improve too.
Coach, y'all had several missed extra points this year, and it's a three-man deal there with the snapper, the holder, and the kicker. What's been the overriding issue you think on those extra points?
I don't think they finished in the right spot. I think it's like if you throw the ball and your arms over here, the ball's probably going to go over there. And I think it's about as easy as that. And I think we need to start hitting those, otherwise we'll just go for two all the time.
Mike, kind of a two-part question on the shovel pass success you guys have had. I guess, first part is, do you think those should be recorded as passes or runs? And then to follow up on that, I know at Washington State you kind of gave the speech about, teaching guys how to throw it into the circle on the chalkboard. Have you had to do anything similar like that with Will, or has he kind of just understood that?
Will picked it up very quick, and I think that's like one of the easiest things to do, which has always amazed me that I even ever had to teach it. But I did, in fact, have to. but Will did it quite naturally, and if you just turn your thumb down, you're in business. And then, I've always thought, I kind of with you, I see it as, a little more as a running back stat than a quarterback stat, you know? The shuttle pass, but, I don't know, you know, it goes down how it goes down, and then, you know, and all it really is a draw. It's just another way to run a draw.
Jack.
Coach, I want to touch on some of the transfers guys have brought in this year. Obviously, Jackie Matthews had a good game this weekend, made a goal line stand, and had an interception. And Justin Robinson's made some strides the last few weeks, has gotten some more playing time. What have you kind of seen from those two guys?
Jackie's fast. Jackie came in here fast, and providing he was running the right direction, was a pretty dynamic guy. And then also he's a physical. He's not afraid to hit you, and I've always liked that. So he is definitely a runner and a hitter. And then Justin, yeah, you know, Justin, as far as consistency, constantly lined up in a consistent fashion and trying to play hard and finish plays, and it was, you know, really getting to some level of consistency, which I think we're still working on.
I know you didn't get to see it in full force in 2020 because of COVID, but what do you remember about home games at Kentucky? Obviously, you spent time there, coach there, visiting coach as well.
Great atmosphere, you know, great atmosphere, packed, you know, tailgate outside there that starts about on Thursday. As I walk from my office, which was under the stadium at that time, you'd walk right through the tailgate section, and which was awesome, and it was easy to get distracted from time to time. And then, you know, it's just a great place to have a game. And then the fans always loved it. Where, of course, I was at Kentucky at the time, so I didn't give it a lot of thought. But the fans, the opponents would come in. They'd go to Keeneland during the day, and then which is the horse races, and then maybe the most beautiful horse race track in the country. I'd go to that and then go to the game that night. So,
Chris.
No guarantee that he'll play, but what are your impressions of Will Levis as a quarterback, and then just his Kentucky team as a whole? What do you remember about them last year, and how maybe have they changed this year?
A portion of them have changed, not across the board, but kind of half, I guess. You know, they're kind of big physical bruiser kind of guys. You know, just kind of, yeah, you know, thick wall defensive lineman type of guys. Same with the linebackers. Play aggressively on defense. Their quarterback, I mean, looks very much like a quarterback. I mean, I think, you know, good at running their unit, and he's a, you know, big statuesque guy. So, does some good things.
Your teams here have been consistently good on fourth downs, but this year's team is 9-13. What do you credit the success to, and how much does that success lead to more chances taking fourth downs?
Well, I mean, I think it starts with just treat it as another play, just to play another play, and you know, and if you're successful in most of your other plays, you probably will be on that one. Of course, there is a catch-22. Why do you need another play? You've already had 3, but you know, I think you just go out there and focus and execute a play, and then. And I do think we've gotten better at it, and yeah, definitely more inclined to do it the more consistent you are at it. And I do think we could, and you try to pick your shots, you know, don't do it recklessly, and I'm sure we have a few times we've gotten out of them, but you know, it's part of the deal, you know, no guts, no glory, so.
Steve.
Coach Mark Stoops is considered one of the best defensive minds in the Southeastern Conference. What are your thoughts about Coach Stoops and his defensive play?
Well, I think he does a really good job. I think he's really a sharp guy. Of course, I worked for his brother Bob, and then I went against, of course, Bob and Mike over the years there in the Big 12, and then, but yeah, no, they, I mean, sharp. I mean, they're like kind of the, you know, one of the first families of defense type of deal. And what makes it even tougher is, anything they're kind of having a problem with, they just get on the phone and call any of 2 or 3 of their brothers and get a whole field of suggestions, you know. And then, of course, Mark's done a really good job there at Kentucky.
Coach, you've been able to run the ball effectively the last couple of weeks, and the offensive line's done a good job of protecting Will. What do you like about that group right now?
They're improving, you know, just really the biggest thing is they're working together to improve. They're motivated. They, you know, they take pride in finishing the game, and I thought they, you know, had a good game last game. I think we can definitely get better. I think that it's starting to, a little bit of depth is starting to emerge, not as much as we need. And then I think Sharp's doing a good job kind of leading the force there, so.
Mike, where have you kind of seen improvement on Dylan Johnson, and how instrumental has he been in this offense being so successful this year so far?
I think he's getting better. I think he does a good job. First of all, he's always been kind of a big physical guy. But you know, I think he's played a little more complete this year. Blocked better, caught the ball better. The other thing I think in particular, he's hitting the hole faster, which has helped him. You know, sometimes, you know, he wants to see it set up a little bit, and we need less of that, and him just hitting the hole hard, and he's done more of that.
Obviously, 0 sacks allowed the past couple of weeks. I mean, could you see Nick Jones and Steven being the guys that stayed there on the left side, even when Dollar Bill is kind of back in the fold?
Well, we never really wanted it. We wanted to be able to rotate some guys in there, so hopefully we get towards that. But they, you know, they both have done a good job, you know. But both sides, we'd like to be able to, you know, roll some guys through there. Not wholesale changes, but, you know, just, you know, like have a left side guy and a right side guy and just roll them through.
Any other questions? All right, thanks.
All right.